Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour, because you gotta pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. I realized I never actually just did a video about ghost hunt, because I did plan on doing just a video of some interesting things that happen on ghost hunts. Now, just I feel like I have to, before I dive into this, tell you a bit more about what ghost hunts were. Generally speaking, the first hour we spent introducing to people how to do ghost hunting, how to actually try to commune with spirits. Some of this is based on how the ghost hunting community generally believes ghost hunting works. Some of the equipment is made by people who do this professionally. And a lot of it is stuff me basically just being like, here's how not to be the kind of person that believes everything. But we also would introduce people to the history of the building, what we believe the spirits who could possibly be there could possibly be. Sometimes we'd drop a couple of stories of things that happened on other ghost hunts, just to give people an idea of what's the best you can expect. But after that, we would divide into groups if there were enough people, and some people would go upstairs, some people would go out into the courtyard, and some would stay in the downstairs. And everybody got some equipment, and they would spend some time like trying to communicate with ghosts. And the tour guide would go between the different groups, checking on them, maybe dropping a few questions, maybe showing them a couple of tricks, just something to keep things moving. And after a certain amount of time, we'd rotate to different spaces. And quite often at the end, we'd have a group session where everybody got together and we tried like stuff together. Though truthfully, usually we didn't make it all the way to the end, because the thing about ghost hunting is it's boring. The majority of the time, you're sitting in a dark space doing nothing but talking into an audio recorder and just praying that somebody hears something on that recording when you play it back. And hell, quite often you're doing reviewing live, so you're playing back the audio recording after having recorded it. So during that time, you're literally just sitting in the dark waiting for the person with the audio recorder to say, yeah, I didn't hear anything. So a lot of ghost hunting is dreadfully boring, and it's often done in spots that are not super comfortable. So yeah, even though this was officially a 4-hour event, usually it was objectively like 2.5 hours at most. But there are a couple of standout nights from ghost hunts that I still just, I remember. There was the one night that I had a celebrity on the ghost hunt. He was very nice, very friendly, and as if ghosts get starstruck, stuff actually sort of happened that night, which was strange. But one of my favorites was there was a night that I watched psychological manipulation happen in real time. So there was this one woman who had introduced herself at the beginning as psychic. I think she's actually said sensitive, and this was pretty damn common on the ghost hunt on a regular basis. We'd have people being like, oh yes, I'm a medium, I'm psychic, I can commune with my past selves. And some of the times I was like, yeah, maybe, possibly. Most of the time I'm going, also known as you like attention. But this particular woman was clearly the I'm just looking for attention sort. Like, she kept interrupting me in the introductions to be like, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. And I'm like, yeah, you're feeling that I haven't been talking about you often enough. But when we get to the actual ghost hunting section, she really takes the lead. And we're sitting on the bed upstairs and just sitting in the dark trying to communicate with stuff. And suddenly she says, I see someone. There's someone standing by the door. And I'm looking over there, and there's nothing there. There's not a shadow. There's not a light. There's nothing. There's the refrigerator by the door. That's it. And first, when she says that, other guests look up and go, I don't see it. I really don't. And she kept going. For about a minute and a half, she was like, oh, don't you see it? Its shoulder is right by the refrigerator. You can see the angle from the window to the counter there. That's where his hand is. And, oh, I feel like he's staring at us. Don't you feel him staring at us? And she started out, and nobody believed her. And by the end of about 2 minutes, half of the group was going, oh my God, I see him. I totally see him. Yeah, he's raising his hand now. And she'd be like, yeah, that's him waving. And it went on. And by the end of probably about 10 minutes, she had every single person in that group, except for one guy, convinced they were staring at something. And the thing is, I even felt like I saw it a couple of times. And I know there was nothing there. And we played back the recorders, and there was nothing there. Like, that was pure psychological manipulation. But it worked. And that was the most fascinating night I ever had on a ghost hunt. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.